So the newspapers had covered the story, the TV had broadcast the documentaries, but the 20th anniversary of Diana's death had passed me by, or so it seemed. My sister and her husband happened to be in London today, and I arranged to walk with them from Victoria Underground Station to Kensington Underground Station. It wasn't until I got to Kensington Palace, which is where Diana lived during her life as princess, that I asked my sister, "Oh, is this why we're here?" And she said yes. So there was lots of flowers, there was banners on the gates, all put up by the people, and in some ways it become a people's shrine. Now, although I say it had passed me by, 20 years ago, when I heard the news of Diana's death, I, although not a royalist, felt moved to go on to the M1 motorway and stand with hundreds of others as her hearse drove past and people threw flowers. There's some sort of connection the with the traumatic death of Diana. So today, as I was standing at the palace gates, I noticed a couple of people with camping chairs, and I thought this is a bit unusual. And the more I looked, the more I realised that these men, because they were men, had set themselves up as some sort of custodians of the shrine. So I got speaking to one of them, and his name was Terry, and he said that he kept coming back every year, but didn't know quite why. And I suggested to him that maybe it was similar to a religious experience, to which he agreed. He was then an older man who remained seated. Perhaps being older, he wasn't able to be standing and mingling with the crowd. And I asked him why he was here, and he said because she was a messenger like Jesus. And I asked him what was her message, and he said equality, that she treated the sick, the elderly, children all the same. And that got me thinking in some ways that maybe she was like Jesus, certainly for people like Claude and Terry, in that she never did become a queen, as he never became an earthly king, and that she was rejected as he was by the establishment, yet in being rejected, their lives went on to be something more powerful in that people accepted them spiritually into their hearts. And I couldn't help think that here these guys were, these men who'd been touched by this woman, and their lives had been touched so much so that they were prepared to look after her shrine and to ensure that the flowers that were brought by the public were dignified in their display. Cheers.